Welcome to Budget Stain Garage. This is the first video and I am going to tell you the story. Alright, so let's start. 1991, I was 16 years old and still working with my permit. Didn't have a driver's license yet. Riding around with my friends. A lot of my friends were already older, about a year or two older, and had their license, had a car, you know. So I was learning to drive from my friends, for one. Earlier that year, my dad had passed away in February. So yeah, I didn't have the dad or the father figure to, you know, teach me how to drive or anything like that. But I tell you what, I learned how to drive from a lot of people. So, you know, that's kind of the base of where it all started. Now, that summer, my dad had passed away in February. That summer, my mom brings me to Southern Indiana to visit some cousins and some other family members, aunts and uncles, the whole family, the whole kit and caboodle. And I had no clue. It was just a normal summer where, you know, school was out and Mom would take me to Southern Indiana to visit our family and her sisters and brothers. So here we are. We finally get down here to Southern Indiana and get up the next morning at my aunt's house. And I wasn't paying attention. I guess they might have had the car in the garage or whatever, but my mom said, "Your car's out in the driveway at my aunt's house." I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" I didn't know anything about getting a car while I was down there. So lo and behold, walked out the back door, and there it was. So yeah, I walked out, and pretty much that's the Mustang that was sitting in the driveway at my aunt and uncle's house. It didn't have the wheels on it. This is the earliest picture I got of my car after I put wheels on it, after I got it back to Ohio. So, yeah, we left Indiana, went back home, drove this car home. I'm not sure, I can't really remember if we had someone else with us. We might have had somebody else with us. I think my mom's boyfriend was with us at the time. And me and my mom, I remember riding passenger seat and my mom driving this car all the way back from Southern Indiana to Northern Ohio, so it was about a 400-mile trip. And yeah, sure enough, shortly after we got home, you know, I drove the car a few times up and down the driveway. Still didn't have my driver's license yet. Still working with a permit. Friends would come over and be like, "Man, you got a Mustang?" I'm like, "Yeah." Now I wasn't a car kid by no means. I mean, I liked, you know, seeing cool cars cruise around and motorcycles and all that stuff, and going to the cruise-ins at Burger King, stuff like that. But I was never the car guy. I didn't go for the muscle car magazines and all that stuff when I was in school. Actually, I was more into like the motocross stuff because I had a three-wheeler. It wasn't a motocross three-wheeler. It was like a farm three-wheeler. It was like a Kawasaki 200, you know. But me and some friends used to ride the heck out of those. And no, I just wasn't a car guy. So when my friends were saying, "You got a Mustang?" I was like, "Well, you know, yeah, it's my first car, you know." And I didn't know what I was getting, so I didn't get to pick it. And I'd say about 5 months of owning the car, practicing driving, finally getting my license, and it started sinking in that what kind of car it was, because so many people were interested in looking at it and seeing what it was about. And I didn't really click till about that time, about 5 months later. It was really interesting. Then I started looking at more magazines, and I was like, you know, this car had hubcaps on it and stuff, and I'm like, well, maybe in some of these magazines they're putting like wheels on them and, you know, dual exhaust and all that good stuff. I was like, well, let's give that a shot. Let me get some wheels and tires and put on it. So yeah, I had a little settlement from my dad. And my mom gave me like $1,500, you know, something like that. And she said, "Go ahead and do what you want with the car, you know, if you want to get wheels for it," because I'd been talking about it. So I ordered them wheels, the ones in that picture, like you've seen, those directional American racing wheels with the Goodyear Eagle STs. And I still remember to this day, one of my best friends, Ken, just riding around with him after we dropped my car off at Goodyear, had the tires and wheels put on it. And we were gone probably in, you know, 2 hours probably, took him to put the wheels and tires on it. I still remember this day, me and him riding across that parking lot, coming to pick up my car. And it was probably close to closing time, because I swear it was the only car sitting in that parking lot just plain as day. The sun beat down and those chrome wheels just shining and sparkling. And that's when it clicked to me that I had a Mustang. Now, so I got those tires and wheels on it. Like I said, I knew I had a Mustang then. It just sunk in then. And I drove the car. I drove the car probably about till 1999. Had a few hiccups here and there between 1992 and 99. Just some mechanical issues that, as a young teenager, you do dumb stuff to your vehicles. You don't know better. Push them to the limits, all that crazy stuff. I'll save them for some other short stories. Those make good ones. But yeah, 1999. Parked it in the garage, parked it in a barn. Then finally got me a garage. Actually, this garage here in 2009. Finally got the car where I could kind of keep an eye on it and do some things to it. Money and life still got in the way. Couldn't do things to it. It sat in the garage here. Ran into another life situation in 2011. I had to sell the car. Sell it. Not something I wanted to do. My mom bought this car for me. She's still alive, but at the time she was still alive, and just not something I want to do, because heard so many stories of people who got rid of their first car and regretted it, So I sold it in 2011. Had to make some house payments. You know how it goes. Blue collar, you know how it goes. All right, well, let's go fast forward about to 2015. Get my tax return every year. I get a phone call. It's a guy that was the middleman when I sold my car to another guy. Called me and said, "Hey, are you wanting to get your car back?" And I was like, yes, I want to get my car back. And he said, "Well, here's a number. Call this guy. He's got your car." So a couple phone calls, talking to him. Sure enough, sold me my car back. I was so happy. It's nostalgia at this point. Over 20 some years, I'm at 30 years now with the car, but over 20 some years of nostalgia. Friends, family members, just all the people that were in my car growing up, and the stories that I made with it. The history and nostalgia is just amazing to me. I don't care. You can't put a dollar figure on that. You cannot put a dollar figure on nostalgia and something that's tied to your life as much as, I don't know, your heart. That's the easiest way to say it. But yeah, so the story is, finally got it back, 2015. So we're into 2017. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of money. I was working 2 jobs, trying to make some extra money to sink money into the car, whatever else I had to do. And 2017, I started doing modifications and restoring it. I know that it's never gonna be a showroom car. To me, I just wanted it running and driving. I did as much as I can in my garage. I have friends, really good friends, that have multiple skills and talents, and they have garages that if I need a lift, I can go to it and I can put the car on a lift and do things if I need to. But 80% of the things I've done have been on the ground and right here in this garage. I have all kinds of pictures and some video. We're gonna go backstories, and I'm gonna show you all the things that I've done and tell stories along the way. And hopefully about every video that I'm gonna do is gonna pertain to the car. The car is either gonna be with me or I'm gonna be working on it. So if I decide to go out to eat, we're gonna have video in the car going out to eat. If we're gonna go get parts, we're gonna have video in the car going out to get parts. And if we make a few visits to some other YouTubers, there's a little hint, we're gonna take the car there too. You're gonna meet my mechanics, you're gonna meet my friends, you're gonna meet my family. We're gonna have a good time. So stick around. Budget Sting Garage.